What is up, guys? I hope you guys are having a wonderful day. It is your girl here, the one who started it all, and this was an awesome movie. A new automation requested that I watch Handsome Rocky. And the funny part is the main character isn't named Rocky, you know. But the main character's name is Kabir. Kabir, I wrote down. And he is a pawn shop owner. He lives a very quiet life, but he is also a special agent. He is a retired special agent because his wife had died. He was killed. She was killed. It was a pregnant wife, to be honest. And she was killed, and after that, he sort of quit. Things like that. You actually find out later on in the movie. But that's who he is. He was a special force. And he ends up having a rather close and nurturing friendship with his next door neighbor's daughter, Naomi. Anna, who is Naomi's mother, is a drug addict. And Anna gets herself into big trouble when her and her boyfriend go and steal drugs from a drug lord, and who's also a sort of like honcho of harvesting organs on the black market. So they go and they hide, they get the drugs and they hide it in a camera, and then they bring it over to the pawn shop where Kabir works, and then they give him the camera, for safekeep. Manlu, who is the drug lord, gets word of this and is infuriated. He's infuriated and basically tells Kevin, you better get the drugs back, or I'm going to ask you to I'm going to ask for you to pay me back the money I gave you for your harvesting your brother's organs, your brother's kidneys. Attila, who is like the head honcho, he's the head honcho, like the head assassin. And he and this guy named Luke go into Anna's house and torture her. To figure out where the camera is. Where's the location of the camera? Where did you put it? Once we get the camera, there's the drugs and we send it back. Little Naomi watches this. And this causes Anna to tell her where it is. They go to Kabir's pawn shop and they tell him Anna and Naomi are captive. Bring that camera to Manlo's and we will free them. So he tries to go to Manlo's, but police have raided his place. He sees Manlo escaping. He goes after him, but he is arrested. Then we find out Anna's fate. She is killed and her organs harvested. Kevin, having enough, been insulted by Manlo, been insulted by him, too many times, kills him and becomes the drug lord, and becomes like the new honcho of the harvesting plant. Rocky. Kabir, I was about to say Rocky. Kabir escapes officers, and they're impressed. They find out that he's a special agent. He was a former RAW and Special Tactical Force, but he ended up, leaving after his, wife had passed away. He goes, he gets injured, and, he goes to like a plant where he saves several children, so, who were, basically slaves at a plant, trying to find, Naomi. He gets hurt and he ends up going into a pharmacy This is some like he does like an impromptu surgery on himself and then go get Naomi. When he finally tries to get Naomi, Kevin, says, "Oh, I killed her. Look at her eyes. That's her eyes. I killed her. She's done." He gets infuriated, and he, beats the crap out of him. He kills him, and feeling like he failed, he attempts suicide. But lo and behold, Naomi comes out. Turns out the assassin Attila isn't such a bad guy, He took pity on her because she was nice to him. And it turns out that the eyes, because she was put up to eye surgery, was the eye surgeon. So those aren't her eyes, those are the eye surgeon's eyes, and so forth. And, Kabar gets arrested, but they allow Naomi to ride with him. Of course, although he saved the day, he's going to jail, but he does ask, "Hey, can we stop at this store, please?" And they obliged, and he buys her a backpack and school supplies, and basically asks Naomi, "Are you going to be okay? Are you going to be okay without me for a while?" She goes, "Yeah." And he asks for a hug from her, and she gives him a hug. And that was cute. That was very cute. But, it's understandable because he was going to be a dad. So, of course, it's only natural for him to. But this was a good movie. It reminded me, for some odd reason, although I know it's a totally different movie, but The Transporter 2. Jason Statham character called the Transporter. Was, in the movie, he, drives for a family, and he, of course he's in love with the mother, but he loves that kid, and he was doing everything to get that kid back. Because, like, a group of people who were using a biochemical weapon was going after the dad because I believe, if I remember correctly, the dad was some sort of politician. And this politician was going to go away. It was something, but, Kabar was someone who was going to be a father once, and it was only natural for him to take care of this girl. 8 years old, the mom, she was both a stripper, like a pole dancer, and, she was a drug addict. Got herself into trouble, stole, from Menlo. Well, actually, she stole from a henchman called Big Show, but it was Menlo's henchman. So even though she stole from the henchman, she still stole from Menlo. But still, it was a good movie. A New Animation, thank you so much. This was a good movie. A lot of action, kind of like straight to the point. It reminded me. I know this is a totally different movie. Like I said before, it reminded me of The Transporter 2, but it reminded me of what was this movie? It starred Scott Adkins, who was an awesome martial artist. What was it? It was a movie where he was. This was an accidental thing. He was in a witness protection program with his daughter in London, and turned out he fell in love. He was like an agent, and he fell in love with a daughter of a gangster, and they had a kid. And the mother died, and he was looking after the daughter. And because the granddaughter was the granddaughter of the gangster, he had the father had heard about this and was going after them, trying to get the granddaughter back. But what ended up happening was these, burglars break into the house thinking that the house had drugs and stuff, like something he goes, "You have the wrong house." And that's when that cover is blown, and the guy hears about this, takes his granddaughter Carly away, and this guy who's a pro wrestler, he's a real wrestler in real life, King Brett was his wrestler name, but his name was Brett, who was sent to kill Scott Adkins' character so he couldn't find his daughter Carly. But it reminded me of that, the whole like get him, even though it wasn't his daughter, Cabal's daughter. Naomi wasn't Cabal's daughter, excuse me. He still was going after her. He was like gonna stop at nothing to get her back. And when he goes, oh my God, no, I failed. Like he was in grief. He was like broken. And then when she comes out, he is like, okay, good. He was like relieved. I was like, yes, yes, she's alive, man. She's alive. But this was a good movie. Handsome Rocky, a weird name, but it works. This was a good movie. This was a good movie. So, a new automation. Thank you very much for this request. I did enjoy it. I'm gonna give it a 9. I'm gonna give it a 9. In my honest opinion, I'm gonna give it a 9. So I did like this movie. Thank you, Anu. I appreciate it. Yeah, that's what I got for you guys. So I hope you guys are having a wonderful day. Well, I hope you guys will continue to have a wonderful day. And that you guys be safe out there. Yeah, Handsome Rocky was a good movie. So be safe out there and have a good day. And yeah, that's it for me. Have a good day, guys.